Hi, this is Beastly Eel with another Eel Talk. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about episode 2 of The Bad Batch. It aired this Friday, actually today. So, like always, I'm going to discuss the episode and kind of figure out or try to guess where it's going to go for the rest of the series. So, in this episode, The Bad Batch had mentioned in the last episode where they were going. And it sounded familiar, but it didn't register in my head. So we go to this remote place um, where it looks familiar, and then they talk about how they're going to look for a deserter. And Echo's like, "What do you mean? Why are we going to trust a deserter?" And Hunter's like, "Well, we kind of all are deserters now." So when they get there, they meet up with a clone that we had met in the Clone Wars, who went rogue. Rogue is not the best word. He left. He completely left his post and had a whole family. So they get there, they're talking with him, finding out what's going on, and in fact, we find out that Rex is obviously we know Rex is alive, but Rex was talking to the clone and letting him know things are going to get bad and you're going to want to get out of there. So he, his wife, and his 2 children were getting ready to leave, but the Bad Batch stays behind for a little bit to kind of make sure everything goes smoothly. So we see we see Omega playing with the children, and we really see that she doesn't know much of anything that was outside that facility. I mean, absolutely nothing. She wasn't aware of the ground, how to play, all the above, which is very interesting to see. So we see that, and then we move on to the clone that deserted the Clone Wars was talking and trying to state that they need to get off the planet. It's getting bad. They need to get out. So they go to the marketplace, I guess the best way to put it. So Hunter and the Deserter clone go in there and they start looking around trying to figure out what they need to do. What they find out is there's stormtroopers everywhere and that you can't just get off planet anymore. You have to have clearance codes. And that's a problem because he knows that if his DNA gets scanned, they're going to find out that he's a deserter. So Hunter talks to Tech, and asks Tech, can you actually do this? Can you make fake credentials for them? And Tech goes, yeah, but I'm going to need some things. We're not going to be able to do it with ease. So Tech's trying to come up with an idea of how to do that. So we have everyone kind of in the house now, and the 3 children are playing, and the ball goes outside the fence, and the 2 kids goes, "Oh, I guess we're not going to be able to play anymore." So Omega decides to go out there and grab it, and the kids start freaking out. Well, the reason why they freak out is because some sort of alien lizard thing is going to try to attack her. So the other 2 kids get the rest of the group, and they start opening fire on this thing to stop it. Hunter goes in to save her. He pulls her aside and is like, "What are you doing? You could have gotten yourself killed." And the deserter clone came up and was like, "You need to calm down. She is not a soldier." And so he checked to make sure she was all right and healthy and everything else. So the 2 of them decide to go back to the city to kind of try to figure out what else do they need to do. How are they going to figure out how to get out of there? This time while they're out, Hunter explains to the deserter clone, sorry, that he thinks Echo should go with them because she needs a family. She doesn't need them. So while this is going on, Echo and Tech decide that their best bet to get the information that they need is to impound their ship. So they call the authorities to get their ship impounded. The Empire comes and sucks it up. Hunter is pissed because Omega's on the ship. So they land. Nobody thinks they're there. Echo gets out, and he gets the information that they need. Tech goes in, and Tech begins to not decipher, but put fake credentials in for all 5 of them. So the 4 family members plus Omega. So Tech and Echo notice that there are a large group of stormtroopers going around. Now, while this is going on, the rest of the team and the family are trying to make it onto the ship, and they're trying to act not suspicious, and hopefully they get the credentials before they make it to the top, or make it to the end, I should say. Well, they spot they spot Echo, sorry, because they're trying to figure out how they're going to unlock the ship. While this is going on, Omega takes the credentials and runs away. She's trying to go give it to them. So now Echo and Tech are in a blaster fight with a bunch of stormtroopers. They call for backup, and Wrecker goes to look for him. Hunter's pissed that Omega is the one that is actually delivering the credentials. But there's nothing he can do. So the stormtroopers are fighting our 2 friends. Omega trips and trips over a robot, and it begins to start setting an alarm. Luckily for her, Wrecker's there and he smashes the robot. He tells her where to go and to hurry up. Wrecker goes to help his friends. So Wrecker is throwing stuff at the stormtroopers, trying to stop anything bad from happening to Echo and Tech. So Omega makes it to the group and hands them the credentials, and she goes, Tech must have made a mistake. He made 5 instead of 4. He made an extra one. And that's when the deserter clone said, you didn't tell her? And Hunter gets down to her level and says, I think it would be best if you stay with them because you need a family. And she apologizes because she goes, I didn't mean to do anything wrong. I'm sorry. Hunter's basically trying to tell her it's not her fault. He just doesn't think it's the best place for her. So he leaves to go help his friends. Before they get on the ship, they find out all their credentials match without a problem, although they were concerned. He almost gets recognized, but they had to go help the others before they could actually recognize him. When the team gets together, they take out all the stormtroopers and get into the ship. When they're about to leave, Wrecker asks, well, where's Omega? We gotta make sure we get Omega. And Hunter goes, she's not coming, Wrecker. And as he says that, Omega's actually in the area trying to catch up to them. So Hunter and Wrecker make sure that she gets on the ship and they take off. So they leave. On the ship, Omega talks to Hunter, and Omega basically apologizes for everything she did and how she has a lot to learn. And Hunter goes, so do I. And that's how the episode ends. So, we know Rex is around, and he was warning his buddies, I guess you could say, that the Empire was taking over a lot of areas. Our clone friend did get to escape with his family, which is excellent. Omega is wanting to be with the group. I think it's because clones are all she knows, and she knows that she's not a normal clone either, and she thinks she can help them. As for where they're going next, I have no idea. There are so many so many avenues they could go. We could meet a Jedi. We could meet Rex. I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. They could get captured by the Empire. Um, Crosshairs could come back. There's just a lot that could. There's a lot that could happen, and I think we don't know, at least right now, exactly what's going to happen. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens in Episode 3. Yeah, but right now I don't know where they're going to go. Not a clue. But I mean, definitely for the first 2 episodes, they've done a great job so far. Hitting on the heartstrings, but also reintroducing characters that were kind of not that popular, or at least not that great when they were in the original series. So, which is nice, kind of really seeing certain characters back again, that were kind of side characters at certain points. But for now, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. As for now, this is Beastly Eel signing out. Have a good night.